Boy, hasn't it been a fun day for Philadelphia sports, hasn't it? You get the Eagles crapshoot earlier today when they lost to Washington, and then you get the other two games that no one really cared about, which were both the Phillies, and they get swept in the doubleheader by the Miami Marlins. Game 1, they lose 2-1, and then Game 2, they lose 8-1. Ugh. Very fun. Very fun, very frustrating indeed. It's, bad. It's not good. It's not fun. And thankfully, the Eagles were on. That whole thing happened, and no one really cared about what happened to the Phillies today, but it's still not good. The Phillies, I think, after these two losses, they now fall in the third place. They're a half game behind the Marlins, and I think they're a half game also behind the wild card spots as well. So, the Phillies, it's going to be a bumpy road going into the end of the year, because apparently the injury train is really on the Phillies right now as well, which is also very frustrating. With the whole thing going on with Zach Wheeler, now he might not. I don't think he's going to be pitching on Monday. I think it's Vince Velasquez that's going tomorrow in the final game against the Marlins, which is good. God, that's going to be fun. And then who knows if Zach Wheeler's even going to be pitching against the New York Mets in that series. It's been a bumpy hill going down road, and it's very annoying. So you lose Zach Wheeler, we all know that mess that's going on. And then yesterday's ball game, and the Phillies did win. I didn't get the cover because I wasn't able to watch the game, but they won. But they lost a few pieces in the mix as well. They lose Spencer Howard in halfway through that ball game with shoulder stiffness, and then you lose JT Realmuto with a hip issue. Then you also lose Rhys Hoskins. So, and also a benefit of the doubt that not having Rhys Hoskins and JT Realmuto in both of these games is definitely going to hinder the offense a little bit. But 2 runs combined in both games, and I think they only had 7 hits combined as well. That's not a recipe for success. Even though you're starting Connor Garlick too, I know that's not going to help the offense at all. But it's basically both of these games have been Alec Bohm trying to carry the offense. It's basically what's been happening. He scored 1 run in the first game, and he got the only run in game 2 when he hit a home run. So he was involved in both runs scored in each game. Which, it's also not a recipe for success. I love what Alec Bohm is doing. I love what the kid is doing. He's going to be a stud. But can someone help him out? Can someone help the bullpen out, actually, who pitched a pretty decent game 1, which was completely surprising. I expected this game, since it was going to be another bullpen game versus Sixto Sanchez. We'll get to Sixto in a little bit. I expected this to be more of a crapshoot than game 2, but game 2 was the crapshoot where Zach Eflin didn't come out to pitch. And you were like, okay, Zach, this is a game you have to win. And he does that performance right there. It's just like, we're in a day that you just can't imagine right now. It's just been a frustrating day in Philadelphia sports. And like I said, for this first game, the bullpen pitched pretty decent. Rosso, he gets the start for the bullpen. And at first, he was electric. He was pitching good. And then he fell apart in the 3rd inning. In his stat line, he goes to 2 1/3 innings. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And the first 2 innings, he was really good. And the velocity was up there, he was locating pitches, and he was getting Marlins out. And then once the 3rd inning hit, you can clearly tell he lost velocity, and he was losing command. And he just didn't have it in that 3rd inning. Which I understand why Joe Girardi leaves him out there, just because of how good he was pitching in the first 2 innings. He just lost it. He lost velocity, he lost command, and sadly that was the inning when the Marlins scored their first 2 runs. But before that, Alec Bohm gets on with a double. It was barely a home run. It just grazed the wall by this much. It hit the front of it and it bounced right back onto the field. And he gets a double out of it. And then before Andrew Knapp, actually, Alec Bohm gets over to 3rd, and then Andrew Knapp gets him at home with a sac fly. So it's 1-0 Phillies. They get the first run of the ball game. And honestly, with the way the bullpen was pitching, maybe this could have been a really good game. But the 3rd inning happened, and Rosso kind of plummeted a little bit right there. The Marlins get some base runners on, and then Corey Dickerson drives in a run, and then Starling Marte drives in another run to make it 2-1 Marlins. And then the bases start to get juiced when Rosso was still on the mound, and then Joe Girardi goes and makes the switch, brings in Connor Brogdon from the bullpen as well. And then Brogdon gets out of the jam. Brogdon in this game, very electric. He was very good. His stat line, 2 1/3 innings, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He was a very intriguing person down in the minor leagues for maybe a future bullpen arm. It may be in the next season or 2. But with everything that's going on this year, we basically got to try everything. And Connor Brogdon was one of the more interesting pieces maybe to be added to this bullpen. And in his first few outings, it wasn't that good. He was a young guy getting torched. What more do you expect? But this game was maybe more what's of expected of him maybe in the future. He shut the Marlins down, and he put 2 solid innings right out there. He was very good. And then Hale comes in after Brogdon goes an inning and a third, only allows 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Very good. The bullpen, honestly, besides that third inning when Rosso kind of plummeted a little bit right there, it was a very good ball game by the bullpen. Just the offense, nothing. Offense put a dud on the board, only scoring that 1 run on the sac fly. And then Sixto Sanchez just does his thing. And since these are doubleheader games, only goes to 7 innings, and then Sixto Sanchez pitches the complete game. He was electric out there. And remember when I said Rosso was losing command between the second and the third inning? Yeah, in the 7th inning, when out with Sixto Sanchez facing Alec Bohm, he struck him out with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in the 7th inning. You expect pitchers' velocity to go down as the game goes on. His velocity was still near 100 when the game was at near the end. Whew. Jeez. It's that trade. I understand you get JT Realmuto in the trade, but overall, Sixto Sanchez is going to be a stud. He is going to be an ace for the Marlins for the near future. In the near future, and honestly, right now, he's going to be a stud for a long time. And if the Phillies cannot find a way to sign JT Realmuto, that trade, honestly, when you see Sixto doing what he's doing, and Jorge Alfaro, he's not the most amazing guy out there. He will get the job done when he has to, but what you gave up to get JT Realmuto, I understand JT Realmuto is the best catcher in baseball, but you gave up your top pitching prospect for JT Realmuto. It's kind of looking like a loss right now. Even if you sign JT, if you do sign JT, I still believe this is somewhat of a loss because you gave up your pitching prospect, and look what he's doing right now. And he's so young, and he's getting so many comparisons to a young Pedro Martinez, and it's just like, oh my god, the Phillies just gave up a young Pedro Martinez. That it's just like, okay, throw him the books, throw him the towel, and oh god, he looked good. He looked very good, and to have 100 miles an hour on your fastball in the 7th inning, it's pretty good right there. And the Phillies, they couldn't do anything the entire game. Barely could generate any offense. Like I said, I think they only had 3 hits in this ball game in total. And I think they only had 4 in the next game. So the offense really was not doing anything. If you look at the lineup right here, Andrew McCutchen in the leadoff spot goes 0 for 2. Gene Segura goes 1 for 3. Bryce Harper goes 0 for 3. So after that big night from him yesterday, he put the dud on the board right here in Game 1. Alec Bohm goes 1 for 3. Phil Gosselin goes 0 for 2. He started to cool off a little bit. You were really expecting him to come back down to earth. Then Andrew Knapp had to start in these 2 games because we don't have JT Realmuto. He goes 0 for 1. Adam Hazley goes 1 for 3. Connor Garlick goes 0 for 2. And then Ronald Torreyes goes 0 for 2. So the offense in this game, big dud. Just nothing going right there. And maybe the offense wake up going in the game too, but it didn't happen. It did not happen whatsoever. It was basically more of the same. And going in this game too, the Marlins in both games, 2 rookie pitchers on the mound, and they dominated the Phillies offense. Yeah, I can understand about Sixto Sanchez, but you put 2 rookie pitchers on the mound in both games starting. That's not good, but on the offense-wise, just not that very good. And let me turn my notes. Even though there's not that many notes to take, because both of these games were honestly an eyesore. The first game was very boring, nothing really happening. And then the second game was basically just the Marlins doing what they do and kill the Phillies. It's just, it was one of those days. It was just one of those days where Philadelphia sports was just, okay, we're not winning any game. It's just going to be a crapshoot the entire time. So like I said in the beginning, Zach Eflin, this was a game you had to win. You had your starter on the mound, and honestly, you expected the first game to be a loss just because it was a bullpen game. But honestly, that wasn't the case because the bullpen pitched really well. The offense didn't help them. So, Eflin, we need you to come out here and pitch us a good game. He does not do that, especially in that first inning. That first inning was, first inning was bad. That first inning was very, very bad in his stat line on the night. 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He did kind of settle down after that first inning, but that first inning just stood out way too much. The Marlins get on the board 3 times with 3 RBI singles, and they were just getting base runner after base runner after base runner. Then they scored their 3 runs, and they're up 3-0 after the first inning. But then right in the top of the second inning, Alec Bohm hits a missile out to center field, and it clears the wall into the stands. And Alec Bohm gets his 3rd home run on the season. The kid just continues to hit. He just continues to do the right things. He continues just to do everything right at this point. Basically, the only thing he really doesn't do right is fielding. And his fielding, honestly, has been getting a little bit better. But what he's doing offensively, the kid's a stud. The kid's an absolute stud. And just sadly, no one really helped Alec Bohm today. He was basically the guy trying to drive the offense in these first 2 games, and nothing really helped. Just nothing at all. Then the Marlins, they talk on a couple more runs. Jesus Aguilar, he gets a double in the bottom of the 3rd inning, makes it 4-1. And then the Marlins, they tack on a few more runs. Miguel Rojas gets a double, and then Chad Wallach gets a home run. And then it's 8-1 from there. And then really nothing else happens. Suarez comes in after Eflin, after he pitches his 4 innings, and Suarez was basically more of the same. He goes 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and he gave up the 1 home run. So Zach Eflin, not really good. Suarez coming out of the bullpen wasn't really good either. And the offense, once again, just another dud on the board. I think in this ball game, they only had 4 hits and the 1 run on the Alec Bohm home run. Missile to center field, an absolute stud of a kid right there. But if you just look at the lineup in general, just nothing really going for them. Andrew McCutchen back in the leadoff spot, 1 for 3. Gene Segura, 0 for 3. Bryce Harper goes 1 for 3. I think he was the DH in this game. Alec Bohm goes 1 for 2 with that home run. Didi Gregorius goes 1 for 3. Phil Gosselin goes 0 for 2. Garlick goes 0 for 3. Knapp goes 0 for 2. And Torreyes goes 0 for 2. So, offensively, just not good. Just not good enough. And I understand you don't have guys like Rhys Hoskins nor JT Realmuto in the lineup. But you got to find a way to get it done. Your top guys got to find a way to get it done. Alec Bohm is the only guy that's doing anything in these 2 games. Where's Andrew McCutchen? Where's Gene Segura? Where's Bryce Harper? Where's Didi Gregorius? Where are those guys? Bryce Harper, he's been in the major slump, like we've said. He had that good game yesterday. He needs to find a way to do that more consistently because he's been in a major slump ever since his hot start to the season. He needs to pick it up right here. He needs to really pick it up. And it's not getting any easier because after this Marlins series, you're facing the Mets. It's basically going to be division rival matchups till the rest of the season. I think the final series of the season is not a division matchup and you're facing Tampa Bay. So it's going to be a tough finish to the season. It's going to be a very tough. And sadly, right now, the injury bug is starting to hit us. Zach Wheeler, he pitched today, I think in like a simulated pitching assignment. So they're saying he's not going to be pitching tomorrow. It's going to be Vince Velasquez. And they still don't know if he's going to be pitching against the Mets in that series. We know Aaron Nola is going to be on the mound, but we don't know what's going to happen to Spencer Howard, how long he's going to be out for. It's just going to be it's going to be tough right now. Because we don't know when Rhys is coming back. They said they took an X-ray on him today and it came back negative, so that's a bright sign right there. But it's gonna be a tough hill to climb right here. We got finishing off this series tomorrow. We're definitely not going to win this series. The best we can do is win 3 out of the 7 games, and that's still not good enough. You're a half game behind the Marlins right now. You're in 3rd place, and I think you're a half game behind the wild card. If you win tomorrow, you're back in 2nd place. Right now, you're a game above 500. You're 23-22. Find a way to get the job done. Find a way. You've beat the Mets a couple times this season, but they also beat up on you a couple times this season. Find a way to win tomorrow against Miami, then go from there. Then you go into the Mets series. Find a way to win tomorrow. But I'm not confident. I'm not confident they can win tomorrow because you got Vince Velasquez on the mound, and he provides no confidence at all in anyone watching him. It's just, oh my goodness. It's not good. Not good at all. How many runs is he going to give up? And can we trust the bullpen to do what they did in Game 1 today? Be more solid like they were in Game 1. It's just, what more can you expect right now? And with JT and Rhys not in the lineup, and we don't know if they're going to be in the lineup tomorrow, it's going to be tough for this offense, but the top guys need to step up right here. McCutchen, Gene Segura, Bryce Harper, Didi Gregorius, those guys need to step up and help a guy like Alec Bohm, who's single-handedly trying to carry this offense right now. They need to step up a little bit right here. I know it's 2 games right here, but they had that offensive explosion yesterday. We need a little bit more consistency right here, because in this series it's been a high-scoring game, then a bunch of low-scoring games, then another high-scoring game, then another bunch of low-scoring games. We need to put a little bit more consistency, more consistently offensively. They just need to do it. They need to get the job done. If you want to find a way to make the postseason, you got to get the job done. You got to win these games, because every game down the stretch right now is entirely important. It's incredibly important. They got to find a way to get the job done. And it starts tomorrow. So, what are your thoughts on this doubleheader between the Marlins and the Phillies? Did you honestly even watch it due to the Eagles game today? And what are your thoughts going into tomorrow and basically the rest of the season? What are your thoughts on Rhys Hoskins, JT not being in the lineup? What are your thoughts on Alec Bohm? Because I want to hear about that. What are your thoughts on Sixto Sanchez? So don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.